Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the All Things Alvalade Strompcast, our final one of the 23-24 season, at least for sporting. And we've got the season review and also some awards. But before we get into that, let me introduce you to my co-host first. We've got Chris. How you doing today, man?
Doing all right. Better than I was Sunday. Still had a great time with the live stream. But it was I guess we survived longer in the game than I thought we would, and we had a good time chatting as well. Season review. I mean, anytime you win the title and you get this on your jersey, I mean, it's a good season, right? So you can sit better with the cup loss a little bit, knowing that we have the ultimate prize. But yeah, I'm doing all right. I think it's officially summer. I think I can say that comfortably at this point. The cold is basically completely gone. Every day's warm now. So yeah, no complaints from me over here.
Yeah, good to hear. And last but not least, Richard, who just turned 27. Happy belated birthday. You don't look a day over 26. So
my hairline's starting to say a little differently though. I saw a photo of me recently. I was like, ooh. It's all right. It's coming for us all. I'm good though. Thank you for asking. Like Chris said, I had a blast on Sunday, even though we lost. Had a really fun time. Definitely something we'll want to do again because it was very cool. And thanks to everybody who tuned in and watched us have a breakdown live on the internet. Like we got to do a muck. Like Danny and I just mukbanged it for a bit. We just was like, I'm eating beef on. I don't know about you. But yeah, I'm good. Summer, like Chris said, summer's pretty much here. I figure once the Champions League final is over, that's when my summer officially begins. Like, okay, now we're into like tournament football for the team, national team stuff. So that's when the fun stuff really happens.
Yeah, I feel like as soon as it hits like Euros, World Cup, that's when summer starts.
Blast this summer. Euros and Copa America, like day and night. That's gonna be a fucking awesome time.
Bro, I'm gonna make a prediction. Argentina's gonna win.
Shocking. I'm gonna make another prediction. Not Argentina's gonna win.
Oh,
one of the 15 other teams will win. And it's gonna be Canada. No, it's kidding. Canada's gonna get wiped in that first game against Argentina. We're gonna mollywop that game.
And make sure you follow the guys there as well. Also, make sure you follow me. We are missing, unfortunately, Danny Saldana, but I do not fear because our first award is going right now to Danny as the fantasy champion. Chris, you nearly caught him. Very close.
He made like an unbelievable comeback, like in the final, like the final month or so. It was unbelievable to watch.
Came up just short. Respect, Danny.
Yeah,
fair. Down to the wire.
Second best Canadian player in the world. You can say, right?
In the world. He was something. He was top 5 or top 10. He was up there.
Yeah. I do also have a victory speech that he wanted me to read. So be prepared for this one, boys. He says, great battle right till the end, my fellow Portuguese league champions. You lads push me to the very end and make me strive for greatness. At one point, I was second in Canada. I'm glad to be crowned this year's fantasy champion, but it's no shock to me as I'm practically every woman's fantasy. Thank you, Danny Saldana.
Nice.
Respect. Good man.
Yeah, deserved winner. Fair play to Danny. Did very well. Chris,
he grinded for that. I will give him.
Give him a follow. Give
Danny a follow if you're credit. So.
He deserves it. I think next year we'll get the fans involved. See if we have our own.
We might do a little something with the fans.
The league.
Yeah.
A fan
maybe prizes for the winner or something. We could do something like that. But yes, just quickly on fantasy, the winners and the final table is as followed: Danny in first, Chris in second, Richard and myself quite far down. Although I'm much better than Richard.
But we did not do great.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I got the best points that last game week, so I mean, I'll take that. But yeah, that is Danny being the champion of fantasy. But Richard, I haven't forgot you, my friend.
Oh, you haven't, have you?
You were the king of the predictions. So as Danny gave us a speech, it is now up to you to give yours.
Oh, mine's not going to be nearly as self-aggrandizing. But here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I wake up every day. I piss excellence. No, just kidding. Predictions. Like we predicted a lot of similar stuff over the year. I was just the most consistent at getting them in and getting some semblance of points. The lads pushed me pretty good, but yeah, there's our final table. Nothing changed from the Final de Taça. I had the right scoreline for the Final de Taça, but the wrong way around, and none of the goal scorers. But that is where we stood. So Chris and Sam did. Chris especially made it a battle at one point in the season.
I'll take the silver medal. I'll take.
We were swapping.
I'm going home with 2 silver medals.
Yeah, we were back and forth for about a month or two, like mid season, and then you forgot like 1 or 2 predictions, and I just slowly started
to pull
advantage.
Away, yeah, you took advantage.
Took advantage of missed opportunities, man. You got to be an opportunity.
You can't take any time off, man.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and that's just the motto. Michael Scott, right, or whatever that guy.
Yeah.
That Wayne Gretzky guy. Who heard of him ever? Useless. But yeah, so happy to take the predictions championship for this season. Anyways, I will hopefully and valiantly be defending my crown next year. We have a Super Taça game. Yeah, we have extra Europe. We have extra Champions League games, which will be fun. Although let's toss the Liga games, which will be less fun. We missed out on the Allianz.
You want as many of those as possible.
You want a lot of those because that's when you can just spam something ridiculous and you're probably going to hit. Champions League ones.
We could do
Europe ones are a lot harder.
A Euros fantasy and Euros prediction. See if we do anything.
Euros fantasy, yeah. Euros predictions would be a bit harder, but I could be down for Euros fantasy this year.
Yeah, we can do that.
What you call it? Super Taça is definitely a good opportunity. I feel like for another live stream.
I think that'll be a nice
early August.
Announce ourselves to the season. That'd be
technically for a trophy. It's the first game. Yeah, it's important, but if you lose, it's just like whatever. It's a Super Taça.
It's a lighthearted, fun way.
If you win, we got a trophy.
If you lose, no one cares.
Doesn't matter. Not a real.
It's like the toss of the league. Until you're in it, you don't care. Until you're in the final, you don't really give a shit.
Yeah. So moving on, we do have. Let me see if I can share this screen. We're flying blind at some points in this episode, and this is one of them. Is this going to work properly? There we go. The Strompcast Award ceremony.
This guy's over here. Look at this guy with his fancy PowerPoint slideshows.
Man, I have too much free time, people might say, but we move. But yes, with this one, so I asked the podcast members, Chris, Richard, Danny, and I voted myself. Some of the questions we asked on Twitter, I also asked the Twitter people and also forms of the media. I'll let you know who those are when we get there. But we had a few different number of questions. There was a number of votes. We gave you all an opportunity to vote on our Twitter. So if you don't follow us, make sure you do follow us at all things Alvalade at ATA Alvalade to get involved as well. But we will start off with our awards. So we'll do Player of the Year first. Let me see if this actually works properly.
I assume this one will be one of the unanimous ones too.
It will be. So Podcast Player of the Season award. Of course, it goes to Victor Gyökeres. That is all of our votes. So it was unanimous. No one had any different. It was all the same. I don't think there's much to say on this one, apart from quite clearly the best player, not just for Sporting, but in the league this season.
Best striker since Big Bad Bass Dust, right?
Yeah,
that's
true.
It's got more goals than Falcao did in his best season in the league as well. So
how many did Falcao have in his best year?
I think in the league alone, I think it was only like 33. But he also had like that crazy run in Europa League where they won.
Yeah, like 11 goals in Europa League. He scored like 50 goals that year, I think, in all comps. They won a treble that year. They were crazy.
So that was us. And then Twitter and X again is a unanimous decision. Victor Gyökeres. I mean, there was a few votes in other sections as well, but Victor Gyökeres was the main one. I gave a list, but I also told people to, if you have someone else, apply your choice. Gyökeres got 89.6% of the vote. Up next in second was Hjulmand. So it was not really close.
I thought maybe Pot would have got second, but okay. I can live with that. Cool.
Pot with 2.2% of the vote and Nuno Santos with 1.9% of the vote. But yeah, mostly all of them went to Gyökeres. 463 votes. So that is your Twitter Player of the Season and Media's Player of the Season. So I asked the following guys and girls the same questions that we asked everyone. Sporting Tactical, Lombard Football, Zach Lowy of Breaking the Lines, Con Murphy, Kevin, Prosimo Jornada, GM10 Media, Inside Sporting, and Matilda. And they also said the Gyökeres, of course, there is going to be sort of no unanimous decision. There's not going to be.
I figured that was the one that no one would quabble over, if we're being honest.
Yeah, definitely. And this leads us on to the next one. So the Strompcast Goal of the Season awards.
Ooh.
I mean, I will say again, very unanimous, not a single vote otherwise, and it was Jenny versus Benfica, the 2-1.
Dude, I actually thought about this my entire drive to work. I was just thinking, and then it came to my mind. And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's got to be that one." I mean,
yeah,
the opposition,
there was a
the
few
goal itself, the opposition, the time of the game. I mean, it's got it all.
Yeah, it's the occasion. It's got everything. I figure, yeah. There's a few good ones. There's a few good banging goals this season. But I think that one, just for like what you said, Chris.
Yeah, I was like thinking through Gyökeres. Right, I mean, he's got some tap-ins, but he has a few nice goals. But he doesn't have like a world like one that like I don't know, one that like sticks out as like so much better than the others. At least
he doesn't have one like Paulinho versus Shaws on the last day of the season or whatever. He doesn't have one like that.
No, but it was also the same for Twitter as well, or /X, having Jenny goal of the season. Now, this one for the media goal of the season, there was quite a few different nominees, but again, there was only one winner. But what came close was Edwards versus Gil Vicente was the was it Gil Vicente versus Estrella? Let me double check.
It was one of the best. It was one of
which one was that?
One.
Let me just double check which one it was.
Was that one when he danced around everybody? Or was
Edwards versus Estrella.
Yeah, he danced around a couple dudes.
But yeah, that was in second place as well for the media vote. But in terms of Twitter vote as well, Jenny won with 83.5% of the vote. Hillman versus Benfica in the Taça was 9.5% in second well. Gyökeres versus Porto, his first goal in third. And Trincao versus Gil Vicente as well, finishing fourth. And Edwards had a few sort of minimal votes as well. So yes, goal of the season. So it's been pretty unanimous so far, but that will change with the next one. Most underrated player of the season. And I will say, I'll give each of you a chance to name who yours were. But first, let's give the award to the GOAT, Paulinho, of course. And I think, to be fair, I think all three of you might have had all three of us had Paulinho. No, sorry, Chris, you had someone else. Who did you vote for, Chris?
I gave this award to Martin Humland. And this is kind of like an award. I like to think of it as most improved player going to Tyrese Maxey. It's like absolute baller, most improved player. It's like that doesn't mean he was like bad or anything like prior.
Yeah.
It just means that you want to kind of give a guy an award. It kind of makes sense that you squeeze him in. I wanted to make sure that he got an award because I felt like he deserved one. And I feel like it was no secret anymore the second half of the season, the contribution that he was making, I feel like. But for the first half of the season, I feel like he kind of flew under the radar. He's the type of player that like I absolutely love. I mean, I play midfield. I love watching midfielders. So like, I'm always paying attention. He came with a heavy price tag. And he was the captain of Lecce, a foreigner. So I was definitely like intrigued to watch him. And he's got the long shot. I mean, he's the type of player that
he also kind of looks like you. He kind of looks like a Chris Oliveira.
Yeah, that's true.
He's the type of baller that I love. I just thought he had such a good season, and he did get some credit, but not quite enough in my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough. So it was actually mine and yours votes, Richard, that won this.
Yeah, we both voted Paulinho. I almost voted for Hillman, though. He was probably my second choice.
Danny went with the vote of Daniel Braganza, which I think is also a very good choice for this as well.
Like, he popped in my head.
Really came on the second half of the season.
Yeah. I think for me it was between Paulinho, Hillman, and him probably, but I went with Paulinho at the end of the day. But that was a good shout.
Next up, again, Twitter giving it to Paulinho as well. I think this one might have been a bit closer. It was indeed. So it was between Paulinho, who won the vote with 33.6% of the votes, and Eduardo Quaresma, that got 30.5%. And Braganza getting 26.5% as well.
I think you could argue Quaresma as most improved, for sure. Or like the biggest prize or whatever.
Definitely. But next up is the media one, which comes a bit different. So there was quite a different number of this, but I think it was only 3 votes each that decided this one. It is a tie between Paulinho and Mateus Reis, which, to be fair, I didn't think of Mateus Reis.
He pulled 3 votes. Good for him.
Yeah, he did well. Paulinho getting 3, Mateus Reis getting 3. Morita was put in there as well.
Hey, he's going to probably find himself suspended to start the 24-25 season without even playing.
For telling the truth as well, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that one was quite a cool one, being Mateus Reis. Not someone you really think of when you think of, underrated player of the season, but I see it. He did very well compared to last season as well. Back first half was back 4. Like it. But yeah, that was the media's underrated player of the season. Next up, unfortunately, is a bad one. But this doesn't necessarily mean that they're a bad player. It just means they had, an off season. It happens to the best of us. So do not take this as like we hating on anyone.
This isn't like slander. It's someone who let us down a bit. That's all.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just who had an off season, and I guess the loser of this award goes to Jeremiah St. Just.
I disagree with that. But
Jerry.
Big Jerry.
So it was indeed me and Chris taking the vote for St. Just in this one. And I'll go with mine is that I think St. Just is a fantastic player, don't get me wrong. But the amount of time he spends injured is what is disappointing. And I think that has got to play into most disappointing player of the season award.
Especially after last season, you're like, come on. I mean, there's no way he's going to have probably, equal or more injuries. It's like, because the meme about him is that he's just he's injures everything. But nah, he really is.
So yeah, it was St. Just winning, or losing, I guess, this award. You went with a different player, Richard. Who did you go for?
I think I went for Edwards. No,
you did indeed. Give us a reason.
Save for a couple flashes here and there, really wasn't as much of a factor.
Definitely the last couple months of the season, or last month maybe.
More in the second half, I would say he just was not a factor at all in most cases. And a lot of times when he came on, he was a little bit frustrating. So he kind of got relegated to more of a bench role, just because Pot was very consistent all season. Trincao for 3 quarters or at least half of the season was playing fantastic football. So that kind of maybe plays a factor into it. But I just felt like he was the one who let me down a bit. But St. Just would have been my close second.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just felt like Edwards just because I had no expectations for St. Just. So maybe that's why I went with Edwards. I had some semblance of expectation. Either he moves this season or he's stuck in Portugal. He did nothing to help his stock, I don't think. If I'm big Marcus. But that's just me saying that was mine. Who did Danny vote for?
So Danny voted for Fresneda, which I assume is probably the same reason as me and Chris voted for St. Just there. And also, Richard, your mic's a bit quiet. I don't know if it's got tangled in the way. It's just it's not massively, but it's just dropped down a little bit in volume. But I think you might be good.
How about now?
That's much better. Yeah, that's good.
Better, yeah. Yeah, I guess it was a little quiet.
Yeah.
Yes. Quiet, there's a problem.
Yeah, Fresneda got Danny's vote. Richard, Edwards, and me and Chris going for Jeremiah St. Just. Up next was the Twitter poll, and that was won by, of course, Antonio Adan. Fresneda coming in close second.
We run the Antonio Adan fan club here at All Things Alvalade.
Yeah, it's actually flipped. So Adan got the most votes with 47.2. Fresneda in second with 34.7. And then Esgaio with 12.5. Jerry St. Just only got 5% of the votes. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Adan, for me, like what you said, Richard, you don't really expect anything from him. So if you expect nothing, Can't really be that.
It's one of those you expect. Nothing.
Yeah,
Like,
I wasn't.
I'm still let down.
I thought he was gonna have like a 4 out of 10 season, and he probably had like a 2.5.
I'll give him a 3. I'll give him a 3 out of 10.
Yeah,
because we didn't have to play him for like a month and a half after, right? So at least we didn't have to subject ourselves to that.
Yeah. And media's most disappointing player did go to Richard's vote in Marcus Edwards.
Here we go.
There was quite a few different ones for this one. Usman Diamonde was voted. I won't say by who because I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but Diamonde was put on there. Dan was also put on there as well. Let's see who else was on there. Edwards, I think, got maybe 3 or 4 of the votes. Dan was put in there too. Let me just check someone else's. Pretty much it was 4 for Edwards, 2 for Fresneda, 2 for Dan, and then a couple others for different players as well. But yeah, Marcus Edwards winning or losing that one. I think all 3 make sense to their own extent. I would still put St. Just above those 3. I know, Richard, you went with Edwards, so I guess this is your consolation prize.
I mean, all three are kind of like I don't think there's a wrong answer at those 3 options, personally.
Yeah, but also it's like I said, it's not that they're bad players because I think all 3 of them are 2 of them are good players. But, yeah. But anyway, we will move on to the most surprising player of the season, and this one again we had a few different votes, but the winner does go to Eduardo Quaresma.
That's my guy.
I believe I think all 3 of us picked Quaresma. Yeah, we did. Did Danny pick Quaresma?
What was the?
What do you have picked for Bragança?
Which was the back? What was the game that he had the sick goal? Is that Porto?
Benfica. Braga.
Benfica. No, it was
Benfica
Cup.
Benfica.
The Benfica was it Braga?
He scored the goal against Porto that got called back, or assisted the goal against Porto got called.
Yeah, dude, that was fucking.
And then he did score a banging goal. It might have been against Braga in our return game at the Alvalade when we.
Yeah, I think it was.
He had I think he had a nice goal then.
Fake the keeper. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He went around the dude and kind of sent the keeper.
Yeah. So all 3 of us voted for Quaresma. Danny went differently and went with Jenny, which also makes sense considering how good he was and, not playing for, I believe it was Guimarães last season, Marítimo last season. I think it was Marítimo last season.
I believe.
Yeah. But I will say in our season's preview that we did last year, which we're going to watch some of it back and see some of our predictions from there as well. One of my predictions was most surprising player of the season was Eduardo Quaresma. So that is...
that's crazy.
Bro couldn't sniff the field for the top Hoffenheim first team last year.
Do you know what it was? It was the pre-season when he kept playing at right back. Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, dude's coming back now." Quaresma's being
dude.
Back
Amorim at first didn't even want him and was like, "I need another center back. They're not going to buy one for me." So
you get what you get.
He's here. I need someone else. So it has to be him, I guess.
Yeah,
worked out though.
Hey,
yeah.
I mean. Remember when he first came in, during COVID, we all saw that he had something, Yeah.
We all thought he was going to be the bigger prospect.
Yeah.
Over Inacio at one point, and then Inacio just kind of went off during the title-winning season, and Quaresma was still a pretty consistent option, but was more relegated to on the bench.
I think he got a back injury during COVID, during the tail end of COVID, and then he just didn't end up playing for a lot of the season because we had Fadal, we had Coates, Inacio.
Amorim was never that into him either. His maturity and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a few things called into question about Quaresma. So very happy to see. I think he had a very good bounce back season. I think anybody who's not happy about that is probably not a Sporting fan. Let's be honest. If you're not happy about Eduardo Quaresma is coming out this past season, you probably don't cheer for the team.
And Twitter agrees as well, having Eduardo Quaresma as the most prized player of the season with 59.7% of the votes, Jenny 21%, and Danny Bragança with 19% as well. So I would say that's pretty fair with those 3 combined. But let's go to media's player. This one had quite a lot of different ones, but the winners, I believe, were Jenny and Hillman. So There was, I think it was two or three apiece fit for both of them. And I was told that Hjulmand, two people said exactly the same thing. I'm saying Hjulmand because I didn't think he'd be this dominant. There we go. Be this dominant. That's why Hjulmand was voted for. And Jenny, of course, being very well. Quaresma only got two, I think maybe one or two votes, but 3 went to Jenny and Hjulmand. So those two are the winners. Yeah. I think that also makes sense to me as well. Two very good players. But, I think you could pretty much you could even put Gyökeres in this, I think, for being that dominant as well, scoring that many goals. You could probably put guys like, I don't know, maybe Franco Israel making great saves, putting him in there, coming up good when needed. Braganza coming on off an ACL tear, being very well. There are so many options you could have picked for this. Even Coates off last season, you could argue, had been much more.
Coates low key is like my after like November surprise because, dude, I don't know. It feels like a distant memory now, but like he fucking low key kind of sucked at the very beginning of the season. I remember we were kind of like, "Yo, thanks for the memories, but maybe it's time to say goodbye, brother."
We were like,
but dude, no, I want him for another year, man. He's great.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, his knees like held up. I don't know if someone gave him like some Michael Secret stuff,
some injections,
or some injections or something. But yeah,
Gyökeres was getting some injections in his knee too.
Yeah. Well, we know that now.
Gyökeres is actually just going for surgery. I don't know if you've seen that. He is.
Meniscus cleanup. So basically the same thing as Israel. About a 6-week recovery timetable on that.
Yeah.
Thank God he's not going to the Euros. But
they're not there, are they?
Next up, kit of the season.
Oh, this is going to divide opinion.
It was, I think, me and Chris got this winning vote of the cup winners.
I put that one.
Oh, you put that? Okay. Yeah. So it was.
I just ordered that.
Yeah, it was Danny who went for the home kit, which is fair enough. I like the home kit as well.
No votes for CR7 kit because that kit really grew on me. I'm surprised.
I just think this one is.
This one is better. I agree. It's good enough that I ordered it with the Keenash logo.
Gold little accent at the bottom's a nice touch as well.
The little like toss of those Tasha's badge there, and on the back, like just below the neckline too. There's a little like gold accent as well.
Yeah, and the Twitterverse does agree with us as well. I mean, the Cup Winners' Cup, it was a bit more close this time. CR7 only losing by 3% of the vote. 39% goes to the Tassa, 36 to CR7. Home kit getting 16th. And I put the black one and then in brackets 4th kit, I think, because it could be the 4th kit, could be the 5th kit, 6th kit, who knows.
That was the only kit that did not do well. The 6th kit. I think if I had to rank all the kits like in an order, I'd say this kit would be like my number 1. I think CR7 or the home would be my 2 and or 3. And then the all white with like the stripes going across before. And then a distant 5th would be the all black one. Which
all black kit is nothing.
The all black kit is
the trading top.
That's like a distant 5th.
Where would you rank the new home kit on that scale?
Third or 4th.
For me,
it's a nice kit. It's not a bad kit. I just don't like that it's home kit.
I'm not gonna lie.
The home kit's not that memorable this year. Although it should be more memorable because it only has a white lion on the home kit badge.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not that memorable for me.
Yeah, they went monochromatic on all their crests this year, which was a choice.
Didn't vote on that, but it's all good. I mean, I actually like it, but
yeah.
But yeah, and then the media one. So this one was a bit different because it actually was a tie of the Cup Winners' Cup and
there we go.
7. I did notice that the CR7 won a lot more of like the Portuguese side of like the people living out in Portugal side of the votes. There was the Tassa for a lot of the English speaking main one. But
that was in like August 2023, bro. That was the hottest tourist item.
Yeah, it is probably one of the most like copied
1 in 4 foreigners is wearing this kit, bro.
Bro, my dad got a bootleg one in Portugal for $25. He was at a fair. The guy's like, "This is the real one."
This shit was iconic, bro.
He's like, bro, 25 euros. He's like, I'm not gonna complain, but his back letters are already peeling off. I'm like, sucks to be you. Because for us, it's fine.
I see so many replicas of it on eBay as well. And
everywhere. It's probably going to be one of those kits that just stand like in terms of like just keeps getting made. It's going to be up there. Yeah, I wasn't sure about the kit at first, and it really grew. Like once I saw it kind of in action, it really grew on me. Like I have it up in my closet. It really grew on me, this kit.
I think it would just look better with the night tick instead of CR7. Like if the night tick was
gold.
I
mean, there's something definitely weird about it, but it also like kind of works. I don't know.
Yeah. And I do wonder if they're continuing the CR7 brand for our kits next year. Because
if we'll have like an alternate that's CR7, like moving forward with Nike, we might have one every year.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they
invert. They give us a reverse. They give us a reverse of this one where it's all gold with black shoulders this time. That'd be kind of fire.
Yeah. But that is the end of the awards. So I hope you enjoyed that little slideshow. Thank you for everyone that voted, you guys and the media and Twitter as well. If you want to be involved for it next time or at the start of the season, make sure you follow us at all things Alvalade on Twitter. It is some good news for some sporting fans. Olympiacos just beat Fiorentina in the conference final. 2 current sporting players play out there, Jovan Cabral and also Sotiris on the bench.
And some of your favorite former sporting players there as well.
Yeah, Sotiris Alexandropoulos, sporting legend, man.
And your favorite sporting players from yesteryear, Alcochete era, Daniel Podence and Gelson Martins as well.
And if you're a Portuguese fan as well, David Como is out there too. I think Andre Horta is out there as well.
He came on.
Bro, them and Wolves are like Portugal, like C teams now. Like
the George Mendes carousel.
Yeah, there's George Mendes FC, like those two. One's FC George Mendes, the other's George Mendes FC.
Yeah, Valencia fucking fell off a little bit. I'll be honest. They got to get their men's game up.
They got their men's clients back in the game. They're falling off. They fell off plus a ratio. Hate to see it.
Yeah, we do also have some more Twitter votes, and I'm also going to ask you guys for your opinions live. And this was the keep, loan, sell. We do this every year, and we got some votes. I'm just going to go through some of them. And
can I ask one question?
Go.
Can we not spend like 45 minutes debating like Ricardo Gallo or like any player? Can we rifle through these if possible? Yeah. I don't want to have a 45-minute debate about Gallo or some random bench dude.
Just let me know which one do you think we should stop on. I'm going to stop on the first one, and that is Franco Israel.
We'll go through.
Yeah. But
I think we gotta keep just because
I put loan, but I was between that and keep. I wouldn't.
We're not gonna bring in 2 keepers, are we?
Yeah.
I also put loan for this one as well. I feel like we can get. He needs some experience, and I don't think being a number 2 is that experience. Especially like you said, less Tassel games. It's going to be less opportunity for him to play. If we do get a number 1, maybe he is our number 1. But I don't know. I feel like maybe. I don't know if we go in my head. If we sign like Andrew for Gil send Franco the other way on a loan, and let him.
If he's going, if he's going to go where he's going to be playing pretty regularly, then fine. But if not, like just keep him and figure it out.
Yeah, another one. Unfortunately, I don't want to say the villain because that's harsh. Because I thought he actually played pretty. He played all right. I know he was off his line.
A couple hairy moments and one that like he would really like to have back. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Definitely. I think I voted loan for this one as well, but put him in the B team also makes sense, I suppose. But
why is that high for sale? I guess people may be pissed off from Tassa for sale, but yeah, I'd loan him. Yeah, if you want to keep him as a third option, just train with the first team and listen because he's only like 18. Like I'm fine with keeper loan.
In Asia, I feel like we're all keeping.
Who voted loan? Who the fuck voted loan? That's what I want to know on this one. You're a psycho.
I mean,
it could be like a loan with a
obligation to buy, like a Pedro Porro deal.
I mean, like technically, Nuno Mendes was loaned, right? And then
Pedro Porro was
a loan as well.
Obligation to buy, but
with obligation. So I mean, maybe that's what they were going.
If you're voting with that intent, then just click sell. Like, what's wrong with you? Keep, but if a good offer comes along, I think I voted keep, but if a really good offer comes along, obviously you want to at least listen.
Well, yeah, that's what really I put sell for this one. If a good offer comes in, are you selling or are you trying to, below the release clause, because then we have no choice if it hits that. But yeah, This one is the next one is very, very controversial.
This one's
got a
divvied
lot
up opinion.
But to be fair, the Arsenal fans found it, so I reckon it's probably inflated quite a bit for Ousmane Diomande. But I will say, before the Arsenal fans found it, it was the majority still sell. And I did vote sell for this one as well, for the same reason you just said. If an offer comes along, I think of 50 million euros, take it, especially with the Bast coming in. Quaresma doing very well in this season as well. Diomande is probably our highest valuable asset that we can afford to lose, and we'll have a replacement ready. Gyökeres goes, we don't have a replacement. If Inacio goes, we don't have a left-footed centre back ready. We have Matthäus Reis, but he's not a like-for-like replacement.
He's like a left back converted to a sometimes centre back, right? Like,
yeah. But what about you guys, Richard? You keep, loan, sell?
I voted sell with the same thought that it looks like he's probably the most expendable of the centre backs.
Especially
I would rather
keep, I feel like he came in
since he came back from AFCON.
His performance has certainly dropped to finish the season, in my opinion.
Yeah, people were roasting us as if we had like a big say. I'm like, man, like I wouldn't sell him if I had my choice. Like I'd keep everybody, but like,
I mean, the thing that also was kind of clear to me, even when he's at the top of his game, he's always got a weird.
He's got the bozo gene.
He's got a shank bozo gene. He's got a swing and a miss in him. He's
got a howler.
But
he's got a howler.
He's still a great player. He's still a great player, but he does have the howler in him. But it's all good.
He's always got one ready.
You just got to know. You just got to know what you're getting.
Yeah.
He's
always got one in the chamber.
Yeah, and next one as well. Jarek St. Just, I was actually very surprised at this because I was in two minds whether to keep or sell. I think I did end up. I think I put sell because to me at this point, if we make our money back on St. Just or maybe make a bit of profit,
sure.
I think it's worth it if we're just going to have the same cycle over and over again. If next season he is fit, then I'll eat my words and that. But right now,
we said that last season. We said that at the end of last. We said that the show last year.
Yeah, if we sell him and he just plays every single game.
I'm gonna be fuming if that happens. So bad.
I honestly have no idea what's gonna happen.
No.
But also I think maybe a loan could make sense in this scenario as well. Maybe if it's like, for a year or maybe a 6-month loan from January. I don't know. I guess
give it a little MLS.
Do you think someone would pay 10 million for him?
No.
I think we could probably trick someone into doing so.
I think you could trick someone into
like
seven.
PSV, Ajax.
I think you could trick someone. I think you could trick someone into 7. I don't know if you can trick. I don't know if you've got enough Jedi mind tricks in the back pocket to get 10.
I mean, Carmo has a release clause of 20 million at his Olympiacos.
Okay, but I think Carmo's the new Morata. I think he's.
I don't think it's getting activated, even though he had a pretty.
And I think Carmo might just be used for like money laundering purposes at this point.
Yeah, fair enough.
He's worth this, so that's what that's actually our assets. But like, no one's gonna ever pay that for him.
Yeah, Eduardo Christmas keep, which is fine. I think majority of people agreed. Kawhi is the same keep as the leader in the locker room. Pontello loan again makes sense, or B team, I guess, in this scenario as well.
Kind of crazy how he came in and was like immediately acclimated into the first team.
And then
I was like, how is this not a B team signing? How is he joining the first?
That's
team?
what I figured he was going to be. Was like an under 23 B team guy.
Well, apparently it's the eventual Inacio replacement because he's a left-footed centre back.
Okay, I guess.
I believe.
Let's go.
Pretty sure he is.
Okay.
Yeah. Same with John Munoz as well. I think he can be loaned as well. Nuno Santos keep after that this season, especially. If you asked me last season, I might have been inclined to sell.
Keep.
He's
retiring here, bro. I mean, if we were going to sell, it was probably last season.
I think, if you're going to sell, you would have cashed in by this point.
So, bro, we're riding until the wheels fucking fall off.
Yeah.
Slim Shady till we die.
Yeah. And Matthäus Reis, same as well, I guess.
Every hair follicle is gone, man.
That might not take that long, Chris. That might not take too long.
Even Presneda, keep again. I think we're low on our back anyway.
So
I don't know.
I give him the St. Juice
with him either.
I compare him a bit to a St. Juice, where it's like give him the next year, see what happens, and then evaluate.
They're gonna sign a right back.
I feel like we might have to. With this guy apparently being linked to Saudi.
I mean, unless you're going to roll with Jenny as your first choice right back. And
I could see that if they move Eduardo Quaresma there as well as like a third choice, or maybe as in like a rotation.
Do you want that type of stopgap solution? Like, who knows?
I feel like Quaresma's good enough on the ball to play right back, and he's good getting forward.
I just
good
feel
at
like
he's got pace, so yeah.
I just feel like they're gonna have other positions of need that they reinforce, and it's just gonna be like, oh, we didn't have enough like money or like
for another right back. I feel like left back should be something they should look at.
It's like not. It's like could be used, but like you can kind of just like get around it maybe, especially if they both stay. But they're.
I feel like left back and keeper should probably be the ones you should look to shore up first, and then go about your business with whatever other positions you may need filling or may just want some added depth.
Yeah, fair enough. And then Ricardo is GOAT. You didn't want to spend 45 minutes, Richard, but unfortunately he is...
Well, this was close. This was ridiculously close. Holy smokes.
Loan him.
Loan him to Vancouver Whitecaps. He can reunite with Ryan Gauld. I mean, I don't think there's a market for him, but if someone wants to buy him, go nuts. I just think his time's run his course. He's one of the most infuriating footballers I've ever watched in my 27 years on God's green earth. And I would I think at this point I would sell. Better than like an improvement over last season. Like had his moments but like also had moments where I'm like, brother, what are you doing? He had a moment in the cup final where Danny, Chris, and I all yelled at our computers. He had a chance to clear it, just looked at the ball and let the Porto guy get the ball. And we all just went, what are you doing? Just clear the ball. You're down a man. Like just losing our minds. And that was one of the that was the final moment where I was like, yeah, he can go. He's on good chief. So I'm fine with selling him.
But yeah, for me, it has to be sell. I mean, he's won the league. He's been an academy player.
Fourth option not listed, rescission via mutual agreement.
Yeah, Waterboy, I think was the agreement last year that we had for Edgar. But yeah, I think it's time. I think the experiment did it work? I guess he won a league title, so maybe. But I don't think he's.
Here's what I'll say: I've seen better signings for $6 million, and I've seen worse.
Guys,
I'll leave it at that.
But yes, Morton Hillman, of course, keep. That's fine. We all agree. Morita again, I feel as a back option, very good.
I love Morita. That's one of my guys. He's just.
I do feel like Morita did have a bit of an off season, but I think he did have a lot of games to play. He had the Asian Cup in between the season.
The better was at the beginning as opposed to the end.
I was actually going to say
he picked up in the last month, though. I will say his last month. He picked back up.
The game we just played against Porto was his best 25 minutes, and he got subbed off.
He got subbed off because we were down a man. We need to be tactical, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I know we spoke about that game before, but I think he should have been Trincao should have came off, and then we could have had Plot and Morita and Hillman in the middle. But I'm not the manager. But anyway,
he's also just seems like such a nice, happy, like vibes guy. Like everyone seems to really like him.
Yeah, definitely. Next up, Danny Braganza again with a keep. That's fine. I think we'd all agree there. Koba is listed for loan on this one.
Bro,
why
did he come in this?
Why was he subbed on in extra time for Pot?
That shit.
When Edwards is right there.
What were we doing, Ruben? What were you trying to cook?
And I mean, he proceeded to like touch the ball like once, maybe.
I don't think I heard his name once.
He got one foul, and the foul was from like standing still and not passing the ball.
Yeah. Loan. It's too soon to sell him. Like he's still.
I put sell. I feel like we could probably
sell
now.
The reason I put sell.
Buy high, sell low.
The reason I put sell low, baby. Mateus Fernandez was starting over him for Estoril. Mateus Fernandez is our player.
That's so not back. We would have been better off keeping Mateus Fernandez and not making a deal for Koba and saving a couple million in a loan. I feel like that's a hindsight one, but
I guess we won the league, so we'll allow it. I suppose
we'll take it. But
fair.
He's young, so he could figure it out. Keep.
Portugal's
It
always
is cool
keep.
to have a. Where's he from? Djibouti or Equatorial Guinea or one of?
He's from. I thought he was Tanzania.
I thought it was French.
He was like from a French-speaking country.
I think it might be Djibouti.
French footballer from Djibouti, born in Djibouti.
Yeah, I mean, bro, he's putting on for Djibouti. There's not
So
many
he's
guys who
French.
can say that.
He's also got French and New Caledonian citizenship as well.
Oh, interesting.
So he's got like a trifecta going on there.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah.
Cool.
Kind of like how Edwards reps Cyprus, low key.
I think he's close to getting Portuguese citizenship as well. He's been here for 5 years, surely.
You should say fuck it and play for Cyprus, bro.
Just fuck it, we ball.
England's not calling, man.
No, they're not calling you anytime soon, brother.
Yeah, Portugal's always keep. I think we're all in agreement as well.
Unanimous, unless someone's breaking the bank for him, right? Like
same with Trincao, although he's got quite a few sells. But yeah, I'll go
a little more on the sell side. But I think he really bounced back this year, especially like he started off like so, but from like what I would say November, December onwards, he was one of our best players.
Yeah, and I do feel like when he is on form, he's the best winger in the league, and I feel like he did prove that multiple times this season. So I would put Trincao there as well. Marcus Edwards,
sell. I put sell.
I put keep. I feel like you're not going to get a winger that good off the bench anywhere. But that being said, at a price,
off, so sell.
At a price like 30 million, 35.
Yeah.
Like it seems impossible.
I think if someone offers, I think at this point, if someone offers you 25 plus 5, you take.
What do we have? 70%, 60%?
I think we have
70%.
70. Yeah.
That's
I think if someone offers you 25,
satisfying.
You could have got. I think you would have got like between 30 and 40 a year, like this time last year. I think now he's playing.
I think you just hold on to him and hope that his value goes up again, which it could easily. You know?
It could. Like look at Pot, right? Pot's value went down a bit.
It goes up and down, kind of. Yeah,
up.
now it's up again. You know, I would say.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, 20 million at this point. Yeah, it's fair enough. Would be good. Yeah, I think just because of the English tax, we could probably get trick like a West Ham or Crystal Palace to put.
You can get an extra 5 million out of like a mid-table English team.
Yeah, but I would say keep. I don't think you get that good of a wing option off the bench. And when you look at Benfica's wingers and how much depth they have on the attacking front, and even Porto to an extent, who is our other winger coming off the bench that isn't Edwards?
We're going to buy a winger.
Yeah, but are we going to buy a better winger than Marcus Edwards though?
Tejan Buchanan from Inter Milan.
My Canadian brethren. Spend, but I mean, we spent 10 million on Edwards for 50%. I mean, that's not necessarily. That's pretty expensive, honestly.
Yeah,
but
I will say as well, in the Champions League, Marcus Edwards is a baller. So maybe he comes good in the Champions League next year because he was good against Spurs. He was.
When he had a point,
I feel like he tries harder because he knows there's more eyes on it.
Yeah, I think he low-key went sicko mode against Spurs those 2 games because he was like, "You could look what you could have had." I think that's what that was like a screw you game for Marcus. Those were 2 screw you games for Marcus.
Yeah,
like they kept if you were watching the English feeds, every commentator was like the former Tottenham boy, Marcus Edwards on the ball. I'm like, yeah, we get it. He played for Tottenham like 8 years ago in the youth academy. Get over it. Like,
yeah. Jenny Katamo keep. Yeah, that's fine. Everyone, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Agree. Yeah. Same with Gyökeres. But I guess people would sell, but I reckon it's probably inflated by other teams seeing this and the
dollar signs, understandably, right? Like, and
100 million release clause as well. It's not.
I mean, if someone's paying 100 million for him, bet. Well, all right, show me the money.
Yeah, but I think commentary of 20%, so it's not like we're getting the 400, which is a bit mad. If we get 80
or whatever.
But I do. I hear rumors that he is renewing his contract with a higher release clause. So if we get it to 120 million, get someone to pay that.
Even 110 million, like all of a sudden.
But yeah,
interesting. But yeah,
keep. Paulinho is a close one, I think. Keep. I'm gonna say keep.
I put keep right now, but if there's a market for him, you at least listen.
What value?
Unless you're because they are looking at another. They're looking at that Greek striker for Panathinaikos.
Money back.
I don't know if you get your money back on Paulinho.
I think he's 31, 32. So
15. 13.
You
12,
could scam a Saudi or like Dubai-based
10.
team. You could scam like a UAE or like a Saudi, like a Middle Eastern team, maybe out of like 10 to 15. I don't know if you're getting your full like 16 and a bit back.
Yeah, but
not any of. I feel like he's not. I don't know, like because like I feel like he's not like a top 3 Saudi League reinforcement. He's like the next tier of clubs.
He's the next. He's like the fighting for Champions League places,
like the Al Alis of the world, Al Tawun.
He's not playing for Al Hilal or
Al
Nassr,
not Al Nassr.
but he is playing for Alvalade. I'll have you know. Made that joke on the live stream too the other day.
Never gets old.
But I do think
it gets old until it gets really old.
With Paulinho, it's one of those. If he wants to leave and make a bag before the end of his career, I think we shouldn't stand in his way. Fair enough.
I'm
you know
not
what I mean?
way that. If a player wants it, he's get paid, go for it.
He's done it all. He's won it all. He's seen it all.
He has won every domestic competition in Portugal. Yeah, that is very true. But fair play. Jovan Cabral, we're going off the loan section now. This is a lot of loans people. Yeah, Jovan needs to go. I don't think
didn't work out.
Isn't it strange? He had a contract renewal last year. Like that wasn't that long ago. Last year,
bro. He's been like on the cusp of like contract and popping off for the last like 4 years.
Damn, his club finished last in Serie A by 13 points.
That's really bad. I didn't know that. That's really bad.
But he also he terminated his loan and went to Olympiacos, so he was clever in that situation, I suppose.
Well,
they terminated it, I guess.
I think it's time to give up on the Jovan dream and experiment.
Well, we have like 4 more loans to look forward to.
Yeah. I can see him going to like a Braga. I think that could be Jovan's level. Like a Braga, maybe a Vitória Guimarães.
Like a just outside the big 3 type of vibe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
To be fair, I think he's also got Saudi all over him as well. I can see that.
I don't know about Saudi. I think he's more Qatar or UAE.
Yeah, Middle East. Yeah, definitely.
He's Middle East, but I don't think he's quite Saudi Pro League levels.
Ruben Vinagre is also still on our books. Yeah, 100%. I don't think there's any competition.
Well, I had such high hopes for Ruben Vinagre as well. Like that was the guy. Like every FIFA career mode, I made a point to sign him as my.
Also, just like made so much sense too. Like internal. He's at Famalicão. We know his agent. We got connection.
We know he's
playing well. We need a left back.
21 international.
It's such an obvious signing. Perfect. Yeah, and then
that first month we had with him was fantastic, and then Anthony came, and then that was it. That was the end of his career.
He got exposed by
Anthony actually ended his own career shortly after that.
Yeah, true. Ruben Vinagre, never forget. Ruben Vinagre got exposed by a human Beyblade.
Yeah,
man.
More strange. Like he had loan moves to what? To where was it after? To Everton, and then to Hull City, and then I think he's in Italy right now. Maybe like
Hellas Verona.
Hellas Verona.
Yeah, very strange.
Shout out Miguel Veloso. I like that. I like that guy.
He's a free agent this year.
I got bored the other day and found the full complete 2007 Final Taça Portugal on YouTube. And he had a banging assist on the Lietzen game winner. Like earlier rabbit hole. I just wanted to point that out because I like Miguel Veloso.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Next up, Rodrigo Ribeiro, another loan. Although
Nottingham Forest did not activate their option.
Nothing for him.
Why did he get loaned to Nottingham Forest? That shit made no sense.
That was a weird.
It's weird. He played more Premier League games than he has ever done Liga NOS.
I know, bro, and he's
but it didn't do anything for him.
Yeah, I guess having the experience of training and stuff, being around
at that
the Premier
type
League
of level, yeah.
But I don't know if it's ever going to happen for him. I think he's 19 now. He's been in and around the team for 3 years. Never made an appearance in the league. I don't think he's made a few Champions League appearances. I think, but
yeah, I think maybe 1 or 2 cup as well.
I think it's either loan or sell at this point. Unless
I think you give him another loan. At least, and then go from there. I think you figure it out.
Amorim clearly doesn't rate him choosing Chimiti over Rodrigo Ribeiro. And I know we made money off Chimiti, but
we got 15. We got like what 12 million or something.
Yeah, and anytime he plays, you word search his name, and Everton fans are like, "This fucking cripple.
It's incredible when Yusuf Shermiti comes on to play for Everton. Like Chris said, just go on Twitter, look up Shermiti, and it's just go sort by latest, and it's just a sea of Everton fans just going, this Shermiti got so bad, man. Like every tweet, I'm like, man, this poor guy. We scammed Everton, I think, out of that one. People called us stupid. They ridiculed us, saying, "How could you
I
sell
think
him?"
that even Sporting knew, because they normally like, if they really think a guy has potential, they will reject an offer like that. But they were like,
okay,
here you go.
They saw Everton offering double digits, and they were like, all right, bet.
Yeah.
There were Sportingistas ridiculing the team, ridiculing us for saying that was a good deal, and look at us now.
Conference League winner Sotiris, sell. I don't know if Olympiacos have an option to buy, but
They probably
maybe they'll take it.
I hope they do, and I hope they exercise it.
Yeah, so I think that's unanimous. Same with Tanlongo. I don't know why he was bought in.
He was a free transfer. He had some hype around him. He had a good.
He's getting sued now.
Under-20. He had a good under-20 World Cup that year as well. Like when he just after he came to Sporting, like there was some hype. There was a bit of potential, but it's gone. It's not.
He played like 3 games, and he got loaned out to Copenhagen. I don't think he played a single game there, and then he's at Rio Ave. To be fair, I think he's had a decent season at Rio Ave. Nothing that is amazing.
Nothing to get right home about, but
there's a good environment. I think they did pretty well in the league, so yeah, fair enough. But
didn't get relegated this year, so that's always a plus.
Selling why his value's still there. I reckon we'll probably get a few million out of him. Nothing more, nothing less.
He was a free transfer anyways, right? So you're making pure profit basically.
Yeah, exactly. Dario Sugo, loan again. I think that makes sense. I don't think there's space for him right now.
Yeah, I would lean towards that right now.
Got that relegation, got that title. You know what I'm saying?
What a roller coaster.
Yeah, Mateus Fernandez, I would say keep as well. I think he's earned.
I put keep. I think he's shown.
The plan is for him to be in the squad.
Yeah, I think he's shown he can be that. Like, assuming you keep like your 3 main midfielders of Morita, Hjulmand, and Braganza, I assume he's going to be that 4th. I assume he's ready for that 4th option at this point, to be the guy who comes in some of the the cup games, occasional start in the league.
Year. Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, he's the 4th midfielder, I think.
Yeah, and there's nothing, because he'll get like the nothing games. He'll get the occasional start. He'll get some good sub minutes probably if a guy needs a rest. Or I think he's a good 4th option. I think it's time to keep him and slowly integrate him back into the first team and get him ready for a roll down the line.
Yeah, agreed. I think that might have been it. Oh, there we go.
Oh, you got so many more. Loan.
I don't think there's that. I think there's already.
There wasn't really a strong opinion on Alfonso Moreira. I think just loan.
Yeah, again, Gonzalo Esteves. Sometimes I forget he's still here, but yeah, it's
I feel like if it has, he's been given some chances, and he's been given a couple loans where he either didn't play, or when he did play, nothing really happened for him.
I
feel like
it fell off, bro. He fell off.
Yeah, I feel like if he hasn't figured it out by now. Sell. No,
that's another one that like Amorim doesn't like his attitude.
No,
like personality.
Being fair to him, I did say the same thing about Eduardo Quaresma last year, where I was like, he hasn't figured it out, let him go. And then sure enough, he figured it out. So he could prove us wrong. Who the heck knows? But I think at this moment, I would just sell him and see what he could do elsewhere at this point, because I don't think there's really much of a place for him. I don't think he has the maturity. I think like Quaresma seemed to really grow up quick this past year, especially in the first little while. Unless Gonzalo Esteves has a similar kind of epiphany or like awakening, I just don't see it happen for him.
Yeah, and Timmy Justo again. I think loan. He's had decent spell at Caspia, but I think not room for him right now. Loan him out again. Maybe in next season.
There's just too many guys. There are too many guys ahead of him right now.
Yeah. Yokalai loan as well, close to keep. I don't know if he comes back as a second option. That's what I was thinking. Maybe if you loan out Israel and you have Kalai as that second option, and have Kalai play in the Allianz or the TAS, the early rounds at least, and then bring in a number 1. But I think
keep or loan. I don't think it's too soon to sell him. He's only like what, 19, 20?
Like he's maybe younger than that. Yeah.
So I say you keep or loan him for the time being, and then figure it out. Give him a better loan than a shitty Firenze team, hopefully.
Definitely. Nazinho as well. That's the name.
I forgot about this guy. You know what? Sell him. He doesn't do
Danny's
nothing for
boy.
him anymore.
That's
Danny's boy. I'm sorry, Danny, but I just don't see anything from Nazinho. He does nothing for me. I mean, he does so little. I forgot he played.
There's
on
been
the
a hole
team.
at left back, and he hasn't heeded the call. I guess you could say
He hasn't lit the world on fire, so to speak.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, there's not much you can say about that one, I suppose. But that is it for that bit. I don't know if you guys wanted to watch a bit of our preseason prediction.
Sure.
With
I'm curious to see how wrong I was, and I'm known for awful takes.
Episode 190 it was, and we're currently on 229, so quite far back away. I will see how this works in terms of screen sharing. Let me know if the volume gets too loud or anything. But let's go to this tab. Which one is it?
Let's see how he does this.
Let's see how this goes. Can I make it full screen as well?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
Let's
shout out to Albert from Long Ball for joining us on our preseason show too, by the way.
Yeah, and also for his voting in as well. Much appreciated.
He was also in the live stream on Sunday for a good chunk, leaving a lot of comments, so we appreciate that.
And he's here now, I think. If he's still here, maybe he's gone to bed. It's quite late here, so oh, there we go. He's still there.
There we go. That's my guys.
Yeah. We'll see how loud it is. Just let me know.
Yeah,
to make it fair. And I'll start off. We'll start off with Liga BetClick now, I believe. No longer Liga Win. Liga BetClick.
We swapped betting companies. Clearly, all we did.
Yeah, but you guys know me. I never like to go positive. Last year, I guess third, and we finished fourth. But this year, I'm gonna have to go third again. I can't in my heart go higher. So I was a bit off, but
You're
I think
a little off. But judging on the information you had.
I think the logic was there, especially after the season we just had as well. I don't think anyone thought we were going to win the league, and not only with it, we pretty much stormed the league for most of the season as well. They didn't look close at some points, but I mean, I'll take the L on that one. I'll hold my hand up. I'll take the L, but I don't know
based on the information you had, I don't think it's that hard of an L.
Is the volume too loud or is it good?
No, it was good.
It was good. It was good.
Right. Just because I do think we've had a good window so far. We're still missing players. I think one injury is all it takes to derail the team, especially Gyökeres, especially a midfielder like Morita, especially if we don't get that midfielder, the guy from... We didn't sign Human at this point, by the way. I'm just putting that out there. Not that I probably would have changed my prediction, but yeah, this was... We only made one signing, that was Gyökeres. Fresneda wasn't here yet, and nor was...
To be fair, he never really got
injured. It's going to be what? Braganza.
The midfield's very thin.
Yeah, they're one. It's like last year. Like they're one injury away from it just being disastrous, right? Like they need a bit more depth in midfield.
Yeah, before Human, there is.
But yeah, I'm going to go third in the league. You know what? I love a Taça de Liga. Give me that, man. Give me a Taça de Liga. So close.
So close. We were semi-finalists, and we should have been in the final, and we would have won. If we could have just scored one of the 300 chances against Braga.
Yeah, it is what it is for that one.
I'm curious.
Portugal, I'll leave. I'll say, I don't know. I'll say final. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm going to say same as last year and go quarterfinals. We got knocked out in round of 16, I think.
Yeah, one round off, yeah.
Well, I'll take a task of the Portugal final. I was off on everything
else.
We'll take one.
All right.
But Albert, give it to you next. Give me a sporting season prediction. And again, I said it before we went live, just because you're on a sporting podcast, feel free to be as impartial as you can.
I'm glad you said that, man, because I'm going to go 14th.
I forgot about that.
Relegated.
Relegation playoff.
No, so it's not going to be first, but I think I think Benfica are going to win the league again. So I think I do think the second, third, and fourth spots are going to be very close, much closer than they were last season. So I think even if you don't finish second, it will only be like 3 or 4 points difference between those three teams. I will also go for third, but I think there is an opportunity to finish above Porto.
I do think as well, if you guys remember during the preseason and the off-season, people were gunning for Braga to make a run for the league at one point.
Man, but you know what? I also said Braga was building a team that would have been sick like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
In 2016, that wins. That was every competition.
That team in like 20, like you said, 2016, 2017, 18, that team slaps up people. In 2023, 2024, not so much.
Yeah. Let's see what else out there
this season. Definitely, for me, Braga are the wild card. They're the kind of the unknown entity because they were good last season and they've improved. So I will go with third, like on a kind of average situation of the middle of those three teams. The cups, man, to be honest, I got no idea. Win one and go out in the second round of the other. I'll just say that. And the Europa League, I think the Europa League has got to be. You've got to treat it almost similar to the Champions League in that, to be totally honest, it's about getting out of the group. You know, it's great to be in the Europa League to have some more winnable games, but unfortunately, there's still a lot of very good teams in that competition. So I would just say focus on getting out of the group, and then everything after that is a bonus. Obviously, you saw Braga get to a semi-final, and so you see what can happen if you get a little bit of fortune with the run-in, with the draw, which you get picked against, but then equally you could end up against you can end up against Manchester United, and it can be tricky. So yeah,
we got the champions.
Get out of the group in the Europa League. Finish in the top three in the league, and I don't think that's a bad season, to be honest.
Well, I mean, he was right. Top three in the league was true, but it was top one.
Right, yeah.
And I guess he was correct. We got out of the group stage, and then pretty much in the next round, because technically
we got the group stage.
It's not technically the next round, is it? The playoff. It's like a playoff to the next bit. So technically, it's not the next round of the Europa League.
We got another round deep. We played the first of 2 rounds of 16s. We played 2 rounds of 16s effectively.
And to be fair, lost to eventual winners Atlanta as well.
We lost to the champions. So like,
who also smacked Liverpool around as well. So it's not like they were only pushovers. They played and an undefeated Bayern Leverkusen as well. So.
It was a loss that aged very well, except it was very frustrating.
That's one that aged like wine almost.
But it is almost like we could have beat them.
It could have been. It was like that's the thing.
But we should have been hammered in the first leg, and they left us hanging around. I'll be honest.
Yeah, that is also true.
Yeah, it was one of those like, man, like what could have been? Like it could have been us right in the back of your head, right? It is what it is.
Yeah, not bad predictions to be fair. I'm pretty sure all of us are going to go for similar ones, but I don't know who was on.
I think everyone's in the round.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, Richard, you have the mystique of having spot on predictions.
Nostradamus.
So after this, I'd like the lottery numbers for tonight, please, and then before that, please give me your season predictions in terms of competitions.
I agree with Albert. I think the league right now is Benfica's to lose.
Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm so dumb.
My bold prediction is I think Braga finishes second. I think we finish third. And I think Porto has a fall off.
Okay.
I'm so dumb. Why do I have a podcast? I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb.
But in
I
your
predicted Porto fall off, but like I'm so dumb.
You were not the only one to predict Braga. It wasn't just us in here as well.
But
the media was going crazy about, they signed João Martino, signed Joseph Font, they signed Simon Banza. They had a very good team, but it just, I think it fell apart. They're no close to third, to be fair. As well, yeah. Coach with them towards the end of the season, not great, but yeah, I mean, there's still more predictions to go, so let's see what you want.
Porto's done the least out of the top four.
I was right about Porto.
They've made no real moves either way. They've kind of been stagnant. I think every other team has at the very least improved marginally. But I think we finished third, and I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be like between 3 and like 5 points.
It was kind of
between like all the places. Like I think like Benfica might finish like 6 points ahead of Braga. Braga might finish like 3 or 4 points ahead of us, and we finish like 3-4 points ahead of Porto. I think it's going to be really tight this year. I think all the teams are looking good. I think for Europa League, I think they can absolutely get out of the groups. I really want to say we're going to win Europa League, but I just can't put that evil on it. I think we're going to go at least quarterfinals.
Idiot.
If we get a
same as me,
the draw, we might make a bit more of a run. but I'm gonna be a bit conservative with that. Say quarterfinals.
Yeah. Off by
I
round.
think we do win a cup this year. I'm not sure if it's gonna be one or both. I really would prefer a Portuguese Cup over a Taça Liga. No offense, it's been a while.
We're so
I'm gonna
close.
say we probably win the Portuguese Cup and we probably lose Taça Liga in the final or final four. So I think we actually make a bit of a run in Taça Liga, but probably just miss out.
You got one
I think
prediction,
we
right?
get at least a trophy.
Yeah.
So third in the league, Taça de Portugal winners, quarterfinals of Europa League, and probably I'll say semifinals in the Mickey Mouse Allianz Cup.
So I got the
you got
semifinals of the Allianz, and I did have us in the final of the Taça, but I went one step further than you had said we would win it.
Yeah. So you've done well there. I think we're both tied at one correct prediction each. I don't think Albert got any. No, Albert got out of the groups as well. Yeah, he got that for Europa League as well. So we're all
and
at
I was
one.
one round off for Europa League. We went one round less than I predicted. So
Let's see if I think Danny's next. Let's see if Danny.
I think he went wrong.
Remember if this is the year that the Allianz Cup goes to like Saudi.
No,
like
I think it's next year they want to do that.
Oh,
This year is still kind of the older format. But yeah,
okay.
Who's gonna pay to what? Where are they gonna take the League Cup? By the way, outside of Portugal, like
That's going around.
It's gonna be Saudi, I think.
Like to Saudi Arabia.
We'll say like America, Canada.
It'd be winter. It'd be winter.
Just do it in America. I would say if it wasn't in the fucking winter time, you could do it in like the East Coast.
I mean, still true to this day.
Yeah.
You can do Toronto or like New Jersey, New York. You can do like Boston.
Let me just say, there's a big Portuguese community in San Diego, so
there is a.
I wouldn't mind a trip to California.
Yeah,
Joe's gonna be funny.
Sorry, San Francisco. You're right.
I guarantee if they do bring it to America or Canada, there's going to be like the final like Bovista versus Aroca.
You're gonna get like a really weird matchup, at least. Like
I mean, Estoril Braga wasn't too fun.
Yeah.
Means they can guarantee that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's why they want to make it just the top four in the league now, so that they guarantee you're getting at least 2 or 3 of the big boys.
Oh, we got Smecco there.
Yeah, most definitely. Danny, for you, what is your competition predictions?
Let me also just say, Boavista fans, you might have offended the 20 Aroca
I
fans.
know
Boavista none of the 20 Aroca fans. When I was an Uber driver for 6 months, I actually drove a Boavista fan here.
I went to high school with a Boavista fan.
Can we
pause for a second?
We had a spirit day in high school, and I wore like a sporting shirt or something. Like a few guys do it, whatever. I see this one dude in a Boavista shirt. I'm like, what the fuck are you wearing?
That was my guy. Shout out to that guy.
I was the only guy who knew what team he had.
But they might get relegated because they don't pay their players. Let me
close.
Not far off. They had that
in
first
terms of the
month,
league,
and then that was it.
I mean, knock on wood. I feel a second, hopeful for first, but I feel a second place. I feel like we're gonna close that gap from last season. I hope, at least, of course. I also feel I'm with you guys. It's obviously Benfica's to lose because they had a great season last year, and then they've added on top of that. Di Maria still, even at 36, he looks incredible still. It'll be interesting to see what David Neres does this season. I will say one thing though, in terms of Benfica and in terms of Braga, I can see them having great seasons, both of them. I can also see them, sacking Schmidt or Artur by January, February.
Not quite.
That is not.
That's an interesting one. He wasn't too far off.
Yeah. Well, Schmidt was very close. Yeah.
People wanted Artur Jorge didn't make it.
I guess left on his own accord for that one.
Left on his own, but was probably going to get sacked. And people wanted / still want Schmidt to get sacked.
Yeah, so not awful, but very close, but still
pretty good off the wall predictions,
especially Benfica. I mean, I think if Benfica aren't in the top, if Benfica are in third by January with a little bit of a distance, I can see them pulling the trigger on that because although I like Schmidt and although I think Schmidt is a great manager, in terms of like quality wise, I would still have Conceição up there as the best manager in the league, and I think Amorim is just below him. But with that being said,
Benfica and Braga, Danny, how they do in Europe might dictate the coaches too, right? If they have like a disastrous Champions League, it
but
might
the thing is,
influence decisions a bit, right?
Braga
It
have
did.
to make Champions League first.
Also
They
very
have
good
no
one.
choice.
So that'll be important for them. Just because if they don't make Champions League, I was even talking to Dave Pereira a little while ago too. If they don't make Champions League, Al Musrati is gone, and I think he's like crucial to their team.
Shout out Eddie Pegas, man. He was right with that Human prediction just there. So
Yeah,
Excellent.
that Eddie dude was bang on with his human. We have our Paulina regen, so to speak.
yeah.
Right? Although they bought really well. I mean, Ronnie Lopes for like 500,000 is like ridiculous as it is.
I thought it was 3 million plus 500 in bonuses.
It was.
Then I don't know. I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know.
that's-
Like it's
I
still
just read
enough
from
to sign it.
BT24 like a few hours ago. That's crazy, right? They've bought in. I mean, they've brought back Bruma. They lost Yuri, which is huge, but for the most part, they still look good, right? So yeah, I'm saying Sporting in second, but I'm hopeful. I am hopeful. I'm hopeful that Benfica stink it up. But the thing is, I think if Benfica do well in Champions, it'll only translate to the Portuguese league as well. And then
Also
my other
true.
fear is if they don't do well in Champions League, at least they're going to be beating Oroc at home. You know what I mean? So
Well, that was the pattern last year, wasn't it? They were doing really well in
Exactly.
Champions League. Everyone was like, they're going to fall off because they're in all the competitions. And can you imagine if he said Famalicão? I would have loved that.
Bro, I would have lost my mind when he said Roca. I was like, if he had said Famalicão, if he had said like Famalicão away, end the show.
Closer.
End the
Close
show.
enough.
End the show. Like we're done
They
here.
just
And they just never
embarrassing.
they fell off a bit for the World Cup. That's about it. After that,
World
they
Cup
were back to
break
normal,
screwed a lot of teams up. I think
Yeah.
that was a really weird anomaly.
which we won't have this season. So, anyways, I think Sporting in second, hopeful for first though. I do think we'll win. Again, I said it last year. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully, I'm wrong. I love the guy. I do think this is Amorim's last season, and all he's missing is the Taça de Portugal. So I'm gonna have us winning the Taça de Portugal. Heard it here first.
And the Europa League. But
Oh, you heard it here second. I said it first.
I mean, yeah, but you know, this is Sporting Club Portugal, bro. We only dream of Champions Leagues and futsals, bro. Not for the soccer.
Well,
Europa
that
League,
didn't age well.
If we were in the Conference League, I'd predict us to win it, but we're not. Europa League, the real.
we
the
could
real
we
true-
could drop down to Conference League. Just saying, that's still
We
a
did,
thing
Yeah,
this
that'd
year.
be disaster.
didn't.
That'd be horrible.
I thought you couldn't drop down from Europa.
It's
No,
not till
not yet.
next year. It doesn't take effect till next year. That this is the last year of like the actual normal good fun formats
Okay.
where you can still drop down. So they could pull a Braga and drop down next.
I'm very
year,
glad it didn't happen,
this year.
Richard. That,
Yeah.
I
does
prefer
it
this
That would have
work,
been really
right?
sad.
Second in Europa League versus third in Champions
Third
League,
place,
is that right?
third place would still
Yeah.
drop down like Champions League, and they would play
Second-
a playoff
second
with the
place.
second place team.
Will the second place team in Europa then go to conference? Is that how it works?
No,
Or is
no.
it-
Who
Who
did
did
we
we
play
play
in
in
the
the Europa League playoff?
Third
this
place,
year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Third place in Europa.
So it's like we dropped down from Champions League last year, played Land, who finished second in their Europa League group.
I
Yeah,
don't
Played them. So it's
remember.
basically all it is. It's an extra
I'll
like
let you know.
half.
it wasn't
knockout
anyone
essentially.
great. I don't think. Oh, okay, and then
And then
if
Young
they're
Boys
out,
for-
they're out, right? That was
In
it. Young
Europa,
Boys.
are we pot 1 or 2?
Sam's
I think
favorite
we're pot
team.
1, right?
I think we might be pot one because of coefficient points.
It
I'm not
depends.
sure.
It's
I
still-
think
I
there's
think
still
they're
some
still waiting on
qualification.
who.
Okay.
we
I
don't
think they're still waiting on Champions League dropouts and stuff to finish the pots. I know we're in one of the top two
Okay.
pots. It
Yeah, 'cause
depends
I know-
on who drops out of Champions League. And
I
the
know
qualifying changes.
Marseille and PSV can still drop down. I think they're the ones that one of them will face Braga next, so long as Braga win. But I have no idea who even they're playing. I forgot.
Well,
the
there are
guy's
still
name,
teams
right?
like Brighton. I think will be in like pot 4 or pot 3. We'll see. I
True.
wouldn't want to draw Brighton.
Yeah, the Zerbi ball is good. You're right.
Not
Anyways,
right now, at least. Bad prediction.
Europa, I think we'll make. I'm with you guys. Quarterfinals, round of 16. If we catch I know Liverpool's in the Europa League this year, right? So
We caught the
if we catch
winners.
one of those monsters, maybe. But if we can top our group, I think quarterfinals. I said we'll win Taça Portugal. I think we'll go to a final at the Taça da Liga. We do love that competition. I see a lot of football ahead of us. I'm just hopeful it's a lot of winning football and not some of the BS we had to put up with last season. But yeah, Taça Portugal. That's the most I'll predict.
Not too far
So,
off again,
Three of us aren't too far off with our toss-up predictions then.
but unfortunately, only 2 of us or 3 of us now have sort of. If we're doing point system, we all predicted one thing that was correct. Danny unfortunately did not, so he might have been the fantasy champion, but not the champion of this.
He wasn't far off on his predictions. Like he wasn't like objectively like, oh, we're gonna finish like 8th, and then we're gonna win this, and then we're not gonna win. Like he wasn't too far off with anything. He wasn't like out of touch.
No, definitely. Very true. But last but not least, Chris, let's see if you can take the lead here, take the trophy home.
Can Christodamus take us home?
And last but not least, Chris, what are your predictions for the competitions?
So I also think that second in the league is fair and realistic prediction. It's tough to predict winning the Taça de Portugal because we've been so bad in it recently. But
almost much better.
Still have the Allianz man on the roster. Tough to bet against us.
You thought
in the Allianz Cup, especially since like 2017, we've won it a lot. Allianz Cup merchant. So I'm gonna say Allianz Cup win. A little bit better Taça de Portugal performance, but I can't predict the Taça de Portugal win. Second place. And
second place, there we go. Got one.
Europa League. Okay. It's tough, right? It depends on the draw and stuff. But I'm gonna say that we're at least gonna get out of the group and win one knockout round like we did this season.
Oh, bang on,
Chris,
bang on.
2 solid predictions. The final of the Taça de Portugal and winning one playoff game.
Winning one playoff round in Europa. All right, we'll give you that.
I think that might have been it.
Hopefully further, but all I can say for now.
Yeah, that was it. So fair enough, right. Chris. You are the winner of this one, and
it's a fair point, Albert.
Yeah, that is also very true. Definitely not the
first time. The first time was totally out of nowhere.
The first time was really out of left field because we were so bad. We had no money. We had just signed Amorim for like 10 million. We were like, what are we doing? Like that season saved that whole sporting administration.
It did.
Like if they had like
it probably saved us as a club as well in general, to be fair. Imagine if that went bad.
If that went how we had all predicted it was going to be heading into that season, we were all like, we're gonna win nothing. We're gonna finish like 4th or 5th. We're gonna get mollywopped like once a month. Like, imagine if that season goes as bad as most people kind of anticipated or close to it. Like, man, this club's finished for a while. Like, it's gonna be it would have been a long road back.
Yeah. But Chris, for you, Richard and Danny gave a speech for their winnings, so I'm going to request a winning speech from your predictions as well for the preseason.
Dang it.
I hope that now that I know I'm defending this title going into next season's predictions, I hope I can predict better things. Maybe hopefully wishcast a little bit. But I'm honored. And it wasn't the week by week predictions. It was just in the very beginning,
the long term,
before you know everything. So I'll keep that in mind heading into the 24-25 predictions.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that is all we have, unless you guys have anything else you want to add until on this season review.
Nothing. Just like thanks for tuning in for a great season. If you've been along it's been a fun ride.
Another one in the books.
We'll be taking a week off next week, so no show next week. We do plan to be back though for the Euros, so expect a shift from Strompcast to more of a Celesal cast kind of thing for hopefully a few shows. Hopefully more than like 2 or 3 shows at least.
We're gonna be fully in transfer rumor season, so if you don't follow the Twitter page, that's where you want to be.
Yeah, most definitely. And I will say just some highlights from our season of doing the Strompcast. First year of the Strompcast, technically, from
as a whole. Yeah, the first year of our full rebrand. Yeah.
Sport 160, and obviously we had Longboard Football, Albert on the pod as well. We had Aaron from Proxima Jornal on the pod, but I'd say no disrespect to those guys, but the big one, Trevante Williams, 4 years in the making. that took. So make sure you do check that out as well. We
that
have
was such a full circle moment because that was the show. That was the first show I tuned into on this channel, and I was like, "Oh, he's just not there." But I stuck around, and look where we are. Look where we are now.
Yeah, and then we also had our 1,000 subscriber special was just before the start of that season as well. So I'm going to count it as well. We got to listen to GM10's media awful football takes, so that was good as well. We also celebrated 200.
We got to do the transfer history. What was the game? Guess the player.
Yeah,
that was
guess
fun.
the player. That was fun. Yeah, definitely.
Can we bring that? Can we try to find out? Can you try to bring that back, like for a one-off next season, if possible? Just like on a slow news week.
I'll tell you, it's an off-season thing. That's what we're gonna do on the off-season.
Yeah,
we got nothing to do for ages. That's what we'll do.
Yeah, when we have like when like Euros are done and we're just talking about like crappy preseason games for Super Toss, so that might be when it makes.
Yeah, like end of July.
Yeah, we celebrated 200 episodes as well. We've got 1,000, I believe 1,200 subscribers on YouTube at the moment as well.
Yeah, we're getting close to 1,300.
Yeah, also, I believe, let me just double check Twitter as well.
On Twitter, I think, or 11K on Twitter.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we're still on 10. We're on 10.9, so make sure you do follow us on all things Alvalade as well on social media. Like Chris said, if you want to keep up to date with transfer news and everything like that, as well as modality news as well, we keep that up to date as well. So make sure you do follow us there. But of course, make sure you follow Richard there as well. Shout out the king of fantasy, Danny. Follow him in there. The king of long-term predictions, Chris, as well. Also, don't worry, Richard. You're the king of predictions.
I'm the week-to-week predictions king. I'm good.
And I'm here as well. I'm just making up the numbers.
Our fearless leader.
I'm the Cobra Condretti at this point. I'm just here to make the numbers. But yeah, that's been us for this season. Like Rich said, we'll take a week off and be back with Euros. We'll do some Euros predictions as well. See what we can do in that. Make sure we'll make sure you subscribe to us to find out stuff like that. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Yeah. Peace.